So now let's see how do we run MySQL in a Docker image. So if we go and see the image here, this is the image that I have pulled already. Then here in the documentation, it is telling how we can use. So it is saying that when you're running this image, you have to give a SQL root password. So this is something that we need to supply. That is a parameter that image is expecting. So what I'll go and do is I'll say Docker run and I'll give it a name. Let me call it being 0 MySQL. That's my container name that I'm giving. Then I have to give this parameter. So this is the name that inside when they created Docker image, they would have expected this. So I'll give it a root as password. And then we will say -d for detach. And I'll say MySQL is the image that we want to use. Let's hit enter. Now if we see docker ps -a, then it will tell us that there is an image that is running, and we did not give any port setting, but it is saying that this port of guest or container is mapped to 33060 on the Docker host. So that is what the status is. So we have a running MySQL server here. Now what we need to do is, in order to connect to this MySQL, we will go and connect to this image. So this is to run the image. Ideally, we did not give this parameter. But apart from this, now if we want to execute for this Docker name, for this image name, that container that is running, if you want to execute something, so what we do, we say docker exec. This is another command that we are looking at. We are asking interactive terminal with this, and the container name we have to give. And the container name, if you see, I had given being 0 MySQL. So this is our container name. In this, what we want to execute is we want to execute bash. So now if you see, we have gone inside the container, and that container has SQL installed and running. And here if I go and say MySQL -u root, that's the user, -p, hit enter, it will ask for the password. And we know the password we have set is root. So I'll give root here, hit enter. Now we see that we have connected to the MySQL that is running inside the image. Now if I say show databases, it will show me all the databases. If I say use MySQL, it will start using the database. If I say show tables, it will show me all the tables that are there. Imagine any table out of this. Let's say we pick servers table. So if I say describe servers, so it is telling that server has server name, host. This is primary key, and these are the data types for every column. Now if I say select star from servers, let's see what it gives. Servers does not have anything. So let's pick any other table. So there is a user table. Let's see describe user, and user table has a lot of things. So user table has host, user. Let's go with user. Select user from user table. So it is saying that these are the users that are there. So this is the way like we can execute something inside the Docker image. Ideally, we are not required to do anything inside the Docker image, but this was just an example. If we are required to go inside the image and run some commands, we can do that. So let's exit from MySQL. So it is, I hope it is okay. Then I'll do Control D. So now we have exited. I do Control D once again. We have come back. So if I say docker ps -a, we see that our container is still running. We have gone inside the container, we ran some commands, and we came out. Now, one last thing is when this Docker container is running, if you see there was some command over here that it is showing. If this command has any output, some logs, if it is giving, so it is giving. So we will say docker logs, and we just have to give the container name. So what it gives is it gives the output of the command that runs in that container. So this is, if you see, the SQL starting command is producing this output. So this is the way we can get logs from any image.